Yeah, conventional thinkers is actually not a good one, because like we girls are suffering from them, because if we want to wear some party clothes or some one pieces, we have to think like twice or thrice that is the place is safe, is there would be no drunkard or something. We don't feel safe for that. So, and even our parents restrict for that, but like we feel to wear it openly, but I don't feel safe there. So sometimes the conventional thinkers, I hate them.
Okay.
Hello, this is Laina Sagons. I am from Ritambara College. I am doing my first year in commerce, and I just want to say that like in Delhi, if you go to see, basically it is like after 7th, girls can't move out from their houses only because of the guys. Like it is like they are uncomfortable. They are just uncomfortable to wear anything that they want, like one piece and all. They're not allowed to. If a girl goes to a pub or something, then it's like she's not from a reputed family or something like that. I think the conventional thinkers are actually wrong in this point, and I just want to say that this thinking is actually wrong. Girls too should have freedom for all this, and why don't you tell your sons to behave outside and not tell your daughters to not wear anything like that, and tell your sons to behave outside, so that even the girls will feel safe. So I just want to say this much, that even me too hate conventional thinkers. Thank you.
Okay. 3 lessons that you learned out of your life.
3 lessons that I've learned. There is more to go in my life, but
Okay, your definition on a life well lived.
I have a good life. Like my parents, they have given me a lot of freedom to go outside, and whatever you want to wear, you can wear. And I don't have that much restrictions, but still there are some insecurities in my parents. They're like, if you go out like late at night, then it's not safe, only because of the guys. That's it.
Hi, my name is Anjali. I'm from the U.S. I'm visiting Bombay right now. My brother lives here, so I'll be visiting family for the next few weeks. In terms of my travels, I've actually traveled a lot. In 2016, I started the year by going to Peru. It was a medical service trip. So I basically worked in the slum areas there, and we provided medical treatment there. So that was a great experience for me. And then in the summer, I studied abroad in Spain. So I was in Spain, I was in Portugal, I went to the Czech Republic. So I got to see a lot of Europe. And now I'm in India. So it's been a good year of travel, and I've seen a lot of different kinds of people. I've had a great experience just kind of opening my horizons, kind of going out of my comfort zone. And in terms of, so 3 life lessons. I definitely think for me, I'm a pretty shy person naturally, and one big life lesson for me is just believe in yourself and push yourself out of your comfort zone, because that's the only time that you'll only really realize your true potential. I know I've realized that for myself. A second life lesson is, I guess, don't concentrate on small, insignificant things, like things that won't matter 5 years from now. There's no point in being upset about it. And just value what really matters, about your relationships, your friendships, happiness. Those are the things to value. I guess the third experience, or a third thing I kind of go by is, let's see, I guess have an open mind. I think I used to always I was always in my own little bubble, especially before I traveled a lot. I only thought that kind of the world was me and everything that was about me and my friends and my kind of relationships. But now I've realized there's so much more. And like there's so many different kinds of people to talk to, and you learn so much from other people. So that's definitely something to live by. And the last thing is about conventional thinking. As a woman myself, it is very infuriating to kind of see how women are treated. And now that I've kind of traveled around the world, I see how people are treated, whether it's in India, whether it's in Europe, in the U.S. And I know that, like, for example, coming to India, something that I thought about this morning is is what I'm wearing appropriate? I'm wearing just a tank top, no sleeves, but as a girl you have to think about those things, because just walking down the street here, the amount of times people look at you in a way that is basically disgusting is, no woman should have to go through that, but a lot of women, especially Indian, do. And in the US it's a little different. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but I could walk down the street like this and not feel uncomfortable about it. I could, I can have my own interests in terms of, I don't necessarily want to cook, I don't want to be a housewife, I don't want to do those things. So just the freedom to live that way, the conventional thinking that a woman shouldn't be educated, that she shouldn't dress a certain way, maybe not play sports, I think that's ridiculous, because women do everything. Women cook for their families, they provide for their families, they give birth, they go outside and work. So when men say, oh, we're going out to work, and then they expect to be served when they come home, they expect to be, picked up after, women do the same thing now, and they do everything else. They take care of their families, they cook, they have their own relationships. So I just think that basic respect for women has to be there. And there's just lots of things that as a woman you think about that a man would never have to think about. In terms of just walking on the street in the middle of the night, I couldn't do that here, but he could. So you do have to think about that. So we went on the local train yesterday, and I'm literally holding on to his arm because people do look at you in a certain way. People do try to touch you, and that's very disrespectful. So in terms of conventional thinking, that's ridiculous.
Hi, I'm Isha. I'm a Bangalorean, and so I've had a little bit of an interesting past. It's slightly unconventional. Ever since I was a kid, I knew I was interested in policy and development and political science. So I studied political science at UC Berkeley, after which most of my friends decided they wanted to stay abroad and get jobs in America, but I had a different route planned. So I moved to Rwanda, Africa for 6 months, and that was one of the best experiences of my life. I also always knew that I wanted to come back home to India, so I did that. I came back, I worked in rural education for 2 years. I ate a lot of humble pie, and I plan on doing that as well. It's my goal to actually use data and data analytics to actually make more informed decisions in development. I also feel it's an undeserved sector, not many people do it. I guess because the conventional Indian route is engineering, doctors, lawyers, businessmen. I come from a business family, so they didn't understand it initially either. But I think they're coming on board more and more. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. Other than that, the one thing which I'm really, really passionate about is animal rehabilitation and rescue. So I'm actively involved in Bangalore, working with Indies especially. So most people call them strays, we call them Indies, Great Indian Dogs. And it's kind of my goal to actually make sure that we have a country like the Netherlands where you've got more dogs who are listed for adoption than dogs that are available. Yeah, so other than that, the message to conventional thinkers would be that you all are redundant. You're not really relevant in this age anymore. I feel like I used to be a conventional thinker too, actually, at some points in some ways, but I feel like the more you get kicked around a little bit, the more you open your eyes to what's happening around you, you'll actually see that your reality, there are multiple realities. And it also kind of goes back to my interest in research and development as well, is that I don't believe there is such a thing as one truth. Every person has their own truths, every person has their own experiences. So conventional thinkers, your truth might not be the truth. And by losing that, or by not seeing that, I feel not only are you missing out on experiences, but you're really missing out on meeting interesting people.
Your definition on a life well lived.
My definition on a life well lived, and I know this is going to sound really cliched, but I would say no regrets. I mean, when I went to Africa, I booked my plane tickets, got my job, and then told my parents, by the way, I'm heading out to Africa. When I worked in the social sector, I remember sitting down in villages on the floor and eating like mensenkai and pakoras and everything. And I mean, it's something that's unconventional. It's something if I didn't do it, I would have regretted it. The number of dogs, I mean, I've got scratches all over my arm right now, and it's been horrible. I've had to live away from my home with the dogs, but it was worth it. And I know if I didn't do that, I would have regretted it. So really try to live your life without regrets. And if you feel like you're doing something, don't think too much about it, just do it.